Be Better, episode 20, in the old studio. We did back-to-back episodes last week, or like 2 weeks ago. We recorded back-to-back. We stopped, we redid it, so it's been 2 weeks since we last met. It's kind of nice doing them that way. That way we know we can knock a couple out, and then, because life gets busy and doing 2 podcasts a week sometimes gets it's hard to fit it all in. So
right. And these are shorter.
Yeah, these are typically right. What's we said last time, and they're 45 minutes each. But I had more time last time. Remember?
That's true.
I was free.
You were.
Everybody left me.
Yep.
We're brought to you by SubZeroPlunge.com. Code BeBetter, $250 off. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing me cold plunge usually every other day. I don't. I typically just do it to where I get to that 11-minute range for the week, because that's what studies show is like the most, you get all the benefits out of it. So usually every other day. And then yesterday I went really long. I went like 5 minutes. But it was weird because I got in and the tip of my knuckle, my middle finger was like burning. Like, like you could crack it and then it feels better.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't go away, and it almost made me want to get out. But I was just kept pushing through. And then eventually it felt like, I don't know, like time was flying by. It was weird because usually you do something really cold or uncomfortable, time slows down.
Right.
But once I kind of got over that, because I always keep moving too. If you because my brother obviously owns a company, and he was saying, he goes, you see all these people who are in the ads and doing them and they're stoic. He goes, you don't want to not move. He goes, you need to move.
Yeah,
it makes it harder.
Your body warms the air up around the water around you, and you kind of create a little blanket of warmth.
Yeah. So he's like, you need to move to get the most benefit out of it. So I always move my legs and my arms. And then it kind of got in a mode where I could just sit there. And I've never gone over 3.5 minutes. And it was I don't put a timer up. I just record on my iPad so I can put out some content. And then I'd be like, oh, fuck, I don't know how long that was. Was it 2 minutes? Was it 5 minutes? I have no idea. So yesterday I did 5 minutes. Won't have time today because I got to go to work right after this. But probably tomorrow I'll hit it up before, or if I can't do it before we train, I always wait 4 hours. And then I'll hit it.
I feel like you're training to do a podcast episode in the cold plunge. Sub-zero.
I could. If I did it at 45 degrees or something, 46, I could do 10. Because the issue is the first minute, it's your speaking isn't that good because you're trying to.
What great content.
Good. Be a first episode. Well, no, Kevin Hart was doing those, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think they were really cold.
There's no way. Not if he's doing a long form.
Right. There's no way.
Freezing.
Yeah. This is real. We'll show the temperature on camera.
Yeah. I'd be a little nervous with the equipment around there, but I guess I could probably. This is long enough.
Yeah. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Let's just float the board on a pool floaty with the laptop.
Or just put it, on a stand next to you. It's fine. Either way.
I could probably do one. It'd be good for his content, too.
It'd be incredible for his content.
Be able to just do one, talk about the benefits while I'm in it.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Perfect. I think you're training for it.
Yeah, maybe. I might have to. I've always been, I got to ask Tim if there's a detriment.
Too long?
Is too long at a time bad?
You
know what I mean? I never really asked him because I'm there's no way I'm going more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, so now I brought the temperature down even farther because I want to, I don't need to be in there for 5 minutes. I'd rather do 3 minutes every other day.
Right.
For me, that's perfect because that gets you that about 12 minutes a week. But you got to try it sometime, dude. I like it. I don't when I first get to go in it, I'm I just sit there and I'm fuck it. And I just go in, plunge completely, and then afterwards you feel great.
You do it before you train?
Yeah, pre-workout.
Okay.
Pre-workout plunge.
I got to bring a swimsuit and a towel.
I got towels.
Oh.
That's the benefit of a house of the pool. We have every housewarming gift was a beach towel and a piece of plastic for outdoor serving or plastic cups and stuff like that. So we have 30 beach towels. So
maybe tomorrow
we can do it. We'll do it together. Not at the same time.
Oh,
but
dang it.
He is coming out. I think he just came out with an XL tub though. Because he was talking to Dan about it. If I could fit Dan Bell in a tub, I could fit anybody in a tub.
That's true.
He's 6'1".
Probably, yeah. He's a tall guy.
And, anywhere from, I don't know, 340 to 400. So
right.
I think he just came out with that. I saw that the other day. So, but yeah, obviously, a lot of benefits to it. My favorite thing is just the euphoria afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because now it's warmer. So I'll get out and then I'll get out onto the pavement and then walk around and just let everything just dry off instead of like drying off or getting in a hot shower. I think that sauna cold is a cheat. I think that's cheating. You know what I mean? If I go in a sauna and sweat really, really, a lot, and then I jump in a cold plunge, I'm the cold hot contrast. There's some research to that, but I'm like, that's cheating, dude. Go in when we wake up and it's 40 degrees and then go in the cold tub. That sucks.
Yeah.
You never want to do it, dude. That's like the worst, but it's also the best.
We'll see how serious you are this winter.
Yeah, that'll be a true challenge. Because that
negative 10 outside. I'm going to do cold plunge, and then I'm going to plow the driveway.
Yeah, it'll be a lot tougher. I'm glad I'm starting in the summer. Yeah, the being cold, but they say your body will be better with cold.
I believe it.
You know what I mean? Like you'll be able to withstand. Yeah, essentially you're trained to be in a colder environment, so you can withstand more cold and not be as cold. For me, which would be nice because like I'll be able to tell in the winters how my hands are doing. Because when I'm working, I have to wear like. Easiest way to explain is like really thick dishwashing gloves.
Okay.
Like if you put on 5 to 10 pairs of dishwashing gloves, that's that's the thickness of the rubber in my hands that I have to work on the lines. And obviously that doesn't stay very warm in the winter.
Sure.
So that freezes, and then when that freezes, your hands are like junk.
Yeah,
like
you
can't
move
use them. So I'm curious to see doing this into the next winter, how my hands and everything feels when I'm at work.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, if anybody wants to check them out, subzeroplunge.com, code be better, $250 hairs off.
Good deal.
Yeah, it is. It's I was the guy that said, I'm like, why would you ever buy one of these expensive ones? I'll just go to Farm Fleet. So that's what I did, and I got the water trough.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Pretty much water trough. Did bags of ice. I think I did it twice.
Yeah.
And then it's been in my the turf area where the dogs go shit ever since.
Yeah, it's just not sustainable.
No, and it's just like, I can fill it up with water. Okay, but if I put that in my garage, what's that going to be now? 60 degrees if I'm lucky.
Right.
Then how much ice do I need? And then it's like you can't get a temperature control. Like you hope it's cold enough, and then you're like, man, I'm got stuff to do today. I can't sit around and wait for this ice to melt to get cold. And I'm like,
and then what happens when the water gets nasty?
Yeah, it would.
You got to drain it somehow.
Yeah.
Refill it. I mean, it's just
because there's no like this thing has like a pump.
Yeah,
so it
right.
circulates
it filters it.
Yeah,
right.
It filters it and all that stuff. And I'm like, gosh dang it.
It's just not sustainable. I mean, if you're going to do it regularly, you need a setup like that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you'll actually want to do it because one, you'll spend the money, and two, it's right there, ready 20. Every time I lift it up, because that's what I was worried about too, was I don't have really good water. Like here, like the wells, like in this area, are not good. Like they're just bad water. Like you should see like my filtration system. I think you got the same one. Like it's ridiculous. They have to come out here every 6 months and like replace a bunch of stuff because it gets so clogged with, I don't know, whatever like makes your toilets orange and stuff, the iron or whatever it is. But the filter took all the stuff out, and like every time I open up, it's like clean. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because in the other one, it was weird. Without the filter, you'd have like a sedative, this brown stuff at the bottom.
Ugh.
It's kind of gross. I did it, but
I
wasn't very proud.
Well, in line with being better, you are now cold plunging better.
I am. I go for a cold plunge right now. I'm sweating. Hard to bring my temperature down after I train.
Yeah.
When it's like 80 degrees out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, we're in a nice cool basement.
Yeah, this does help. I do like it that it's cold down here. Good cold basement. Yeah. Question for you, Jacob.
Ready. So,
tell the fans what you're receiving on Monday, and then we're going to dive into what's your obsession, what happened, and a little information on you and your 50th vehicle purchase of the year.
Yeah, I'm getting a 2003 Ford Excursion delivered on Monday.
From Michigan.
That's right.
Why? Now, why would you? What prompted you to get an Excursion?
I wonder.
What is an Excursion?
Oh yeah, that's true. There's people on here who weren't
because they stopped making them. Well, they made them for
5
years. Oh,
only 5 years.
2005. Yep. Which is weird.
Yep. And then there could possibly be someone listening who wasn't even born when they came out. It's possible.
Yeah.
So Ford Excursion is the largest production SUV ever made. It was a Ford SUV built on an F-250 platform. Mm-hmm. So it's 3 rows plus almost a truck bed behind it in terms of the length. I think that space is like 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah, it's probably right around 4 if I can remember, because my dad had one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Right. So they're just massive, massive vehicles. And they stopped making them in 2005. I don't know exactly why. I'm sure there's tons of stuff online about it. My understanding was just I remember that's right when I started college 2004, and gas prices went through the roof. It was the first time I think they hit like high 3s and 4s in the country ever.
Huh.
And so I think that combined with it's a the one I got's a V10 engine. Doesn't get great gas mileage, obviously. I just think Ford was like, everyone's getting gas conscious now. Like, let's not keep going with it. But now they have this like cult following because it's the biggest basically car you can buy. Essentially, that's not a bus. But yeah, no, I need something to drive the kids around and all of their stuff, man. Like, goodness gracious, I got 3 kids: soccer, gymnastics, baseball, bicycles, scooters, cleats. I mean, there's just so much stuff. Unless you have like a Yukon XL or a Suburban or Expedition Max, something like that. Any other SUV, even if it's 3 rows, there's not a ton of space behind there. Mm-hmm. And so, and it's a lot cheaper. I won't have any car payments. I pay cash for it. So that's nice. And I'm not talking about driving this thing, cross country and commuting 50, 60 miles a day in it. Nothing like that. Just literally like around where we live and, running the kids to and fro. And, shoot, you could fit 6 kids in the back of that thing. We could have 3 more.
Yeah. I think they've made them 2 with a bench in the front seat.
They have.
I think it was kind of rare, though. You don't really see
that.
You could do 9.
It could be a 9-seater. That is true. They did. There was a few that could. I mean, I could always buy that seat. It's on eBay.
I would want less kids in the car. More. I wouldn't want to pile more kids that aren't mine in.
But, and Tom, you helped me sort through, which excursion to buy.
Hours of talking about
Lots of talking about excursions.
Luckily, my dad had one. I've been in them. I know that engine. I had a truck with that same engine in it. I'm always a bigger fan of the diesels. I like them a lot better, the 6.0s and the 7.3s. But Jacob's makes a lot more sense because he's going to be doing, might be doing 5 or 10 minute drives.
Correct.
For 75% of the
time. Yep.
You ever using it. It's like that'll, you're going to hate it in the winter because you're going to have to sit there and let it idle for 15 minutes so you can drive for 5.
Right.
And it's not the 7.3s. I think you can get away with that a little bit. But like those diesels want to be ran down the road, and if you can't run it on the road every day, it's not the best. I mean, it'll be fine for a while, but it's not the best thing for the engine. So you're better off just going gas and it's a big engine.
You got to plug in the diesels because it'd be outside. It wouldn't be not many people have a garage that'll fit that thing. No, I mean, you need a pull barn essentially.
23 feet?
I think so.
It's 226 inches.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But
so hopefully this was the right one. We'll see. You won't know until you get it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a risk. I've only done that once, but I flew to Florida to buy the car.
Oh, wow. When was that?
I was 19.
What'd you get?
Camaro.
Oh, that was a Camaro. Okay,
like
gotcha. You've talked about that
2000
before.
LS1.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I flew all the way down there to get it. Big mistake.
Well, it was fun.
I had to replace the entire transmission and my clutch twice.
Oh, wow. Was that your fault or the car's fault?
No, it had a blown third gear, and the guy was a cop. So I'm like, oh, this guy's probably pretty honest. Well, he was no John Jursic, I can tell you that, because he lied to me.
No one is.
And he's like, yeah, I think it's just like a plate in there they had to like fix. That's what the guy said, but I'll just tell for a little cheaper to you, and whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Took it to the transmission guy. He's like, I got to replace this entire thing. Your clutch, you got to get a new flywheel. All this stuff's burnt up. I'm like, oh, great.
Awesome.
So I bought it was like $5,000, which for me when I was 19 was a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah.
And then I'm like, it was funny now, but not really funny then. But I bought it, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to get a tax return for my job. That'll be probably about $5,000. So it's like, it'll be an even wash. Well, for some reason, I checked the wrong box that year for my taxes, and I never looked because I was, I just got my first job, really.
Right.
Like my first real, start of my career. I didn't really look at the federal thing. Like, oh, I don't know what this is. I never paid any federal taxes the whole year.
Oh, no.
So it was like zero, or at one point it got changed somehow. So then they're like, oh, yeah, you owe us $5,000. And I'm like, and then I went to get my transmission replaced, and that was $5,000. So all of a sudden I was like negative $15,000 to start out the year, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It was just like punch. Like I just got screwed left. If I would have waited like 2 months, and I was even more impatient. Actually, I'm probably still the same amount of impatience, but I bought it in February, so I couldn't even drive it.
Yeah, right.
So I got it here, and I stored it at my granny's house, and I would run it like once or twice a month. Just start up, move it a little bit until spring happened. Then I could actually take it out. But if I would have just waited till spring to buy a car, I would have known that, hey, I got this big tax bill, and I probably wouldn't have bought one with a blown transmission.
Yeah. Well, you live, you learn.
You live when you learn, you know?
Yep. And then you get loves.
Loves?
The commercial says, the diapers.
Oh.
It says you live, you learn, and then you get loves.
That's true.
That's what happened to you.
I got loves.
You lived, you learned, and then you had kids. Got diapers.
Got rid of the Camaro.
Yeah, got rid of the Camaro. So we'll see. We'll see if this excursion is the one.
Yeah.
It's a mythical creature, mythical beast. You know, it's hard to find a 20-year-old car that you're like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be good day to day. You know, even if it's only 5-10 minutes, like,
yeah,
you want to be confident that if Alicia has to drive it with the kids, it's not going to, you know, something's not going to happen to the car in terms of not safety. I'm not worried about that. Things a tank, just in terms of, you know, starts up and drives and reliable. So, yeah, it was owned by a sheriff's department apparently, and they used it to tow a boat, their sheriff's boat, to the lake and back.
You say toy boat?
No, tow a boat.
Oh, tow a boat.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, everything looks clean on it.
It does.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
what happens when she pulls in Monday. But like I said, the good test of, you know, you guys get some back and forth, and he's ended up driving it here, and he has to tow his car behind it. Like, that's a great test.
It is a great test.
You tow it for 3 hours and drop it off.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks good. You know,
so. No, I mean, yeah, if it can tow a little car behind it for 3 hours from Michigan to my place, and the car is fine, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with that engine. And you know what's funny? Before I came over here, it's why I was trying to get here a few minutes before. That's why I got here right on time, because he texted me because he had to order seats. They had taken all the seats out when they made the sheriff's car so they could put stuff in the back of it, because it wasn't a patrol car. Obviously, it's too slow to be a patrol car.
Yeah.
They just towed boats, so they put equipment and stuff in the back of it. And so the seats weren't with it, the second and third row, just the front two. So the guy was like, you know, obviously, like, you can't sell a car without seats unless somebody wanted to buy it for, like, you know, construction or something. So he's like, yeah, like, I'll get seats for it. It's no problem. I'll put it in the price, you know, part of the deal, whatever. I'm like, cool. Well, the seats came in today. He had gotten leather seats from Washington from, you know, some excursion or whatever.
Nice.
Well, the goober heads shipped them stacked on top of each other, not seat to seat, but the bottom of the seat on top of the other one.
Come on.
So when he took them out, there's holes all in the bottom seat, because you have, you know, the foot stands or whatever was just sitting on that leather for 3 or 4 days in a truck with God knows what's piled on top of that.
Right, roding back and forth.
So they're all punctured.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm not paying for these seats. Like, I'm going to call the guy I bought them from. Like, this is ridiculous. He's like, so what if I get, like, all black rough country seat covers for the whole car? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. So
you had seat covers in your other truck, and you couldn't tell. On the Ford XLT.
No, those were stock.
I thought you had nice seat covers.
They were just nice XLT seats, but yeah, no, they were stock. Yeah, I mean, look, it's I actually don't mind it, because you have leather in all your cars. Yeah, you're a boss.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
I mean, with the kids in car seats and they push into it, it's leather is nice if you're an adult. If you're, and it's nice in terms of wiping stuff up, but like if you scratch it, you puncture it, like, you're done. I mean, cloth is just easier in that sense. So I actually don't mind it, because this isn't going to be a car that I'm like meticulous. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll Jacob.w.ross it out.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not going to be like, it'll be nice to know that if I have a car seat wedged in there for, 6 months, I'm not worried about the seats cracking and all that kind of stuff. So
right, yeah, cloth is like it's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, all mine are leather, but that's just how they came. Like,
and then when the kids get a little older, if like this is the one, Texas Thunder 5.0 here.
Yeah.
If it is the one, then I could always get everything reupholstered.
Well, no, you could find those seats.
Well, yeah.
I've seen them on like Facebook Marketplace, where it's like you might spend $1,000, $1.50, but you can get like almost like somewhat new ones sent to you and just bolt them right in.
There's that company like CatSkin. You see a lot of dealerships do it now with XLTs. They'll put leather seats in. They're CatSkin seats. It's a large company that they just ship the seats. I mean, it's custom upholstery, but they just have a ton of F-150 stuff already printed, basically black, a few basic colors. If you want something custom, it's more, but if you just want basic colors, it's done. So dealerships will buy those from them, and then they'll just have somebody put them on. To get it done privately, it's like for $2,000, $1,800. It's not bad. So anyway, I could get the whole thing reupholstered if it is like I'm going to keep it forever and it's like the one. Yeah, but I won't know until I drive it for a while.
Yeah, you better give it some time.
Yeah,
a couple of years.
So the seat covers are fine.
Yeah, that's good. No, I'm excited to see it, see how it is. See how it looks in person. It's hard to tell over pictures, but
But it all comes down to, we're talking about just being smart about finances, and it's like nice not to have a car payment. And I don't really commute or drive a ton, so I don't really need to have a super like nice car. I mean, I don't, for what? So I can just sit in the driveway and depreciate?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. My wife can have a nicer car because she drives the kids all over the place, and you want to go to Florida or Indianapolis or wherever you're going, you want to have a nice, reliable car. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just for two of our cars, one can be a 20-year-old car that just hauls kids and stuff around. That's okay. As long as it's reliable, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And have a motorcycle. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like anything. That's part of the reason why I got rid of my pickup, because my wife had a big black SUV. Now she has a nicer, big black SUV. But I was like, this truck is just sitting in my driveway.
Yep.
And I barely drive it a long distance. And I was like, I'm sick of this payment. I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I sell her car, sell this, get her a nicer one, and I'm like, I'll just drive an old DeVille. Like, I drive 15 minutes a day.
Right. Yeah.
To work. I don't care what guys at work think. I get in, I go home. I have no AC. I put the windows down. I don't care.
Right.
It only sucks when I get a phone call
Sure.
in the summer because I'm sweating a lot as I'm talking on the phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'll just talk to you later. But I'm like, I don't really care. Anytime we go anywhere with the family, we have a nice car we want to get into. And then, obviously we got the third car just because, like, all the running around like the kids will do with the babysitters or whatever. We needed a third vehicle, but yeah, I would be fine with two if we didn't have all that stuff going around. I might eventually go back down to two just because I just don't like things sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to bother me.
That's where I was with the Bronco. It was like, it was an awesome car. I love that car. Oh my gosh.
Sweet.
It was amazing. I mean, if I had endless resources, for sure, I would just have it in the garage. But the problem is it's set in the garage. I would drive it once or twice a week over to your house, whatever. And because they're so hard to find right now, there was a lot of equity in that car. And I'm just thinking about that like a stack of cash, literally just sitting there. I'm like, how selfish am I as a husband and a father to be like, I'm just going to have this sitting here because I like the way it looks. That's so dumb. It's so dumb. And honestly, I prefer to ride my motorcycle. Like, if the weather's nice, basically April until November, if it's not raining, I'm going to ride my bike. If it's like coming to your house or somewhere solo. And then again, with the family, we have Alicia's car. So, it just being a responsible person, trying to be better, to be honest, it doesn't make sense. So get rid of it, get this guy in there. And then, it's fun too. When it's an older car that you have a payment on, you can do a little stuff to it and you don't feel it really.
Right.
You can put rims on it, you could level it, you could, whatever the case may be. It does have a sweet OEM 6-disc CD changer, apparently.
Yeah, it's in the is it in the glove box or it's in the back?
I'm not
left,
sure.
When you open the hatch in the back.
If I remember looking at the
left.
picture right, I think it said CD6 on there with this where the thing is. So I'm like,
pretty sure it's in the back of the vehicle.
I got all my CDs still. Don't you worry, my friend.
That's kind of cool.
So
yep.
Just really show the kid. They don't even know what a CD is. They've never seen one.
Maybe it's in the glove box. We'll have to go through it.
It's
been
fun.
a while. I haven't been on an excursion. My dad had one. I think he sold it about 7 or 8 years ago. And I could have bought it, and I said, oh, no. Instead of buying his for $10,000, like a 120,000-mile excursion with the 7.3 that was, like, clean for here, I put $10,000 down on a new truck. So I could have had, but, I was a kid.
Know what's crazy about that excursion? Even if you drove it, let's say, 7, 8 years ago, so let's say it had 160, 170,000 miles on it. If it's clean, it's a 7.3, those are going for 20 G's right now.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I mean, you would have made money.
Yeah. Oh, well. Live and learn.
And then you get loved.
Yeah.
Well, I know you got to go.
Yeah, I got to go to work.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Is there some life coaching possibly coming down the road offered by Tom Kallas?
Yeah, it's been something on my mind for the past probably at least 3-4 months. It's been in the back of my head to do something. Finally put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. This past week, got a lot of stuff down that I've been writing down like over the past few months. Put some stuff together. Built a page in the website that I'm going to share with give you the code to get in, Jacob, so you can proofread my terrible not penmanship. What do you call that?
Your grammar?
Grammar. Yeah, that stuff. So I put some stuff up there. It should be launching relatively soon, probably about a month or so. I'm just going to try to give back. My whole thing this year is to try to, obviously make myself better, but bring people up that I can have influence over. So I love making people strong inside the gym. It's like a client's PR is better than me having a PR sometimes.
Sure.
You know, especially if they come here and squat or something, it's like the best feeling ever.
Yep.
So if I can have that happen in people's personal lives outside the gym to make them be a better husband, wife, partner, coworker, friend, that's what I'm aiming towards now. I'm going to do a couple people for free, just kind of get acclimated to it, see how the process works, see if I want to tweak anything before I start opening it up to other people for the coaching. But yeah, I'm excited to offer it. I have a lot of stuff that I want to share with people, things that I've learned that people won't have to learn the hard way, kind of like little cheat codes for life, make people think, challenge people, push them, because sometimes people just need a push. They need someone in their face, kind of like with training. You need someone to tell you what to do. I need someone to tell me what to do sometimes too. Like, it's nice. You don't have to think about it. This will be me telling you what to do and making you think about it, though, because, it's your personal life. It's, we're going to get into it. What, ever find your purpose, what's holding you back, how to, have gratitude, how to stack your own gratitude. I think we forget to do that, realize what we have and what we've worked for and how far we've come.
Yep.
We forget about that with the busyness of the day-to-day life. And I have a bunch of other stuff I'm going to go over, and I'm not going to give it all away here. But something I've been working on that it's coming to release very, very soon. So I'm really excited for that.
Let me give you 60 seconds of commentary on that. First thing I want to pull out of that, if anybody notices, he said he's going to do a couple people for free. You're talking about a guy who has been coaching people for a long time, granted not in that field, but there's a really wise lesson that if you're new at something, like, put some time in, quote unquote, as like an intern, an apprentice, so to speak, and like learn by doing, but do it in a way that the person that you're working for or working with, there's no added pressure in terms of like value. Like, if they're paying you, they're going to expect X, Y, and Z. And you're saying, I've never really done this before. I want to do it. So let me just kind of learn, and do you mind learning with me? And everybody wins, right? They get a service, you get better. I'm just saying that's wise. Not a lot of people do that anymore. They think day one, I need to be worth X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, I need to, have a profit immediately.
When I started training in Chicago, I got paid $500 a month.
Yeah, garbage.
$500 a month. And I was training all-stars. But I had never done that before. So I was fine with it, because I'm like, if I do a good job, then I'll make more. So anyway, that's one. The second thing is, when I was younger, I think I would have said that life coaching is dumb.
Me too.
Is me being older.
A year ago, I would have said that.
I think me being older, and I'm a faith-based guy. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible about, don't isolate yourself. That's what fools do. And basically, like, seek counsel, seek wisdom of other people who are obviously wise people. And I think there's a lot of benefit. I can't tell you how many times a client has talked to me about training, and they'll say something to me, and I'll just repeat it back to them, what they said. Like, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. I'm eating this, and I've missed a few workouts, and I'm like, you just said why you're not losing weight. Right. I just had to say it back to you.
Yep, you just gotta hear it.
And then they're like, wow, like, they have to hear it from someone outside of your head. There's so much benefit to getting outside of your head. I think there's a lot of benefit to what you're going to offer, and I'm really excited to see what it is and support it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think I could have went right away and charged, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go into something and be like, oh boy, I wish I would have changed that.
Yep.
Like, there'll be things over time that'll change, just like everything should evolve and change over time, training wise, life wise. But yeah, just, get a couple guys. I think I'm gonna do a guy and a girl, get them through my program, see how they like it, get some honest feedback, and then I'm going to open it up. So looking forward to that. I got to run, though. I got to go to work, unfortunately. So thanks for listening. SubZeroPlunge.com, code BeBetter, $250 off. Check all of our stuff out. Be Better Brand. Obviously, YouTube, podcasts, training advice, nutrition, you name it. We got it. So,
and we still have a few sick
Be Better hats. We probably got about half the stock left of Be Better hats. So perfect summer hat. You can get it wet. You can wash it off, leave it on the counter. Next day it's dry. That's my main thing with hats. I'd always get like the non-mesh ones essentially, and it just like you can wear it for like a few months, and then if you train it, I think reeks, dude.
Gotta go.
So yeah, check out our hats, check out our shirts, apparel, Kallas Barbell Apparel, all there. Thanks for listening. Be better.